Fellow Nigerians, I have read the ridiculous response by Senator Mohammed Musa in response to my accusation that he plagiarized the text of the Singaporean parliament in his obnoxious bill, where he strives to curtail the rights of Nigerians to use the internet. In Senator Musa's response, he said that his action was not plagiarism. According to him, national legislation do not claim right over them as to form the basis for plagiarism, their effectiveness being limited to the territorial jurisdiction of each sovereignty. That is a false display of knowledge. For you to copy the text, the contents of a document written by somebody else is plagiarism. You did not only copy the title, you copied the text which you circulated amongst your colleagues in the Senate. I have a copy of that document. I have a copy of that document, and I advise you that instead of being arrogant, you ought to apologize for your recklessness, because maybe one of your legislative aides did that. But I think it was my mistake even revealing it now. I should have waited for you to pass it into law, so that I will now reveal to the world how you copied the laws of another country into our country. Transcribing, that is transcribing. You copied word for word. Anyway, that your bill and that of your colleague concerning hate speech, they are dead on arrival. They are dead on arrival. If what you did is not plagiarism, then what is plagiarism? Why did you not make citations or references that what I am writing is coming from the Parliament of Singapore? That is how it is done academically, and you know that. You should know that. I know that he will cleverly withdraw what he has already circulated to his colleagues in the Senate. But as he continues to be bold-faced, I know how to handle such matters. In a normal society, that action is enough to recall you from the Senate and make you face the legal consequences. On normal circumstances, Senator Musa ought not to have been allowed by INEC to contest the election into the Senate in the first case, because he contested in an election where his company, known as Private Technologies Limited, supplied the machines that printed permanent voters' cards to INEC. Where will you allow that? In any part of the world? In an election in which you contested, your company printed or supplied the machines that printed voters' cards? For what? It is because of the silence of Nigerians. Oh, because it's APC. According to Shomole, join APC and your sins will be forgiven. We're talking about our country here, not your private businesses. Will you run your private businesses the way you are running Nigeria? One of Senator Musa's closest, strongest supporters for this nasty law is Senator Abba Moro, former Minister of Internal Affairs. He has a case of 677 million naira around his neck. He should be facing that. They are not creative. That is why Nigeria is where it is now. 20 Nigerians died during Stampede when Moro was minister, when he superintended over a sham recruitment exercise. He should focus his attention on that. They want to stop Nigerians from talking about how they manipulate us, about their misgovernance, about their looting, and their selfish interests. We're talking about our country here, not your private business. Buhari apologized for plagiarizing the speech of Barack Obama. Even that Buhari statement, I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody, it was copied also from a speech made by former French President Charles de Gaulle, 19th of May 1958. And the original text of that speech is, I am a man who belongs to no one and who belongs to everyone. We must not allow you to build our country on manipulation and falsehood. while you are busy prosecuting and presenting a bill against the use of internet for manipulation and falsehood. And that is what you are doing. That is what you are doing. Why did you not copy death penalty law from Singapore or from China if you are looking for something to copy? Of course, you can copy an idea, but not the words behind the ideas. Bring robust ideas about why we should be producing crude oil and we are reporting what we have exported as crude oil, we now report as refined oil. Refined oil, you should be bringing out robust laws and regulations that will stop this deficit. You should be talking about why we must not remain the poverty capital of the world. You must formulate strategies, not bringing petty laws about hate speech. I like you, I like you, I like you, you don't like me. Hate speech and talk like this. Bring substance. Bring substance that will catapult our country to development. Not these things you are doing here. Nigeria needs healing. Our land is drenched in blood and insecurity. We need healing. You need to reconcile Nigerians. Nigerians are angry and hungry. That is what you should be doing. Nigeria should not be going on exile. Reconcile your people. That is what you should do. Go and learn from how the president of Ethiopia, Ali Abiy, how he won the 2019 Nobel Peace Prize. Within 1 year in office, he reconciled with his people. He set prisoners free. Journalists were set free, reconciled with political opponents. He interfered into South Sudan for them to broker power sharing deal. He settled with Eritrea that has been in conflict with his country for 20 years. You should be bringing Nigerians together, not laws that will put you apart from the government, from the people from the government. We, the people, we are the government. Without us, there is no you. Bring the people together of Nigeria, not how to bring laws that will separate us. Some special advisors, they just type things, tweet to ridicule and attack Nigerians. Is that what we need now? What is our motto? Unity. It's part of our motto, unity. How can we have peace when we don't have unity? How can we have progress when we don't have unity and peace? How can people have faith in country? Don't you understand the motto of our country? Unity and faith, peace and progress. Do we have any of this? That is what you should be thinking about. If you want to copy laws, why did you not copy the laws of death penalty for corrupt public officers? Oh, you don't want to die. Then you should even formulate laws where to become mandatory for every state in Nigeria to build museums in every state capital where we could hang the pictures of Nigerians that were killed during the election that brought you into office. Our land is drenched in blood. Very soon, we shall reveal how the 2020 budget was padded. Of course, you have already seen that about 3 billion naira was padded, injected into that budget for some people to put into their pockets. But we shall make more revelations very soon. We are poor, we are borrowing, and you are stealing from what we have. I don't want us to talk. That is why you are bringing about all these laws, so that we don't talk. Many of you are ex-governors receiving double salaries, that you are receiving pension in a country that is poor and people are hungry. You don't feel the pulse of the people. Little wonder the Minister of Agriculture said that there's no hunger in Nigeria because it's not in tandem with what is happening. You don't want us to talk. Recently, the Senate President said that he is ready to do everything, anything that Buhari wants. So if Buhari wants top 10, you give him top 10 because you are loyal. Because he made Danjuma to step down for you. The Danjuma that had a corruption case of 5 billion naira stepped down for you to become speaker. Therefore, whatever Buhari says you will do, Nigeria has to come first. The legislature is supposed to be an independent arm of government. You are all there. Keep it silent. When Buhari is defecating on our constitution, by disregarding court orders. How would that be happening when we have lawmakers? You're no longer lawmakers, you are lawbreakers. For you to be silent to Buhari, desecrating our constitution, court makes orders and he refuses to comply, and you are silent in the name of loyalty to party. So your party is now bigger than Nigeria. You want to restrict our freedom of speech so that we don't talk? It is not possible. It is not possible. And you northern leaders, you have destroyed the north. You now preach religion to them and tribe. But that is not the real problem. Northerners have ruled Nigeria for the longest number of years. But all the shoemakers, all the beggars are coming to the other parts of the country. It is the least secured region, the least educated. With all the money budgeted, you are stealing the money and you refuse to send your people to school in the north. And most of our videos are now being translated into Hausa language. Let them know that you have refused to send them to school, that this is the state budget. Let them know that it was you that refused to give them employment. We cannot continue like that. We are going to work with the north, the south, the east, and the west for them to know that we have common enemies in the politicians. You have to repent now and begin to build our country. During the 2019 election, the sham presidential election, Zamfara State, you gave Buhari, though of course we know that the elections were rigged, you gave Buhari 438,682 votes. But in 2018, you were able to enroll just 28 students for common entrance examination. Why? Because you don't want your people to be educated. You know that the internet is being used by Nigerians in the east, west, and the south. Therefore, for you because you have gagged northerners, for you now you want to gag the other parts of the country. A day will come when our northern brothers and sisters will rise up against you and say no, and all Nigerians will come together to rebuild our country. That same 2019 election, Kebbi State gave Buhari 581,552 votes, but they were able to send just 50 students to register for common entrance examination in 2018, because you want your people to be uneducated so that you can be cheating them. As rich as the north is, they are very poor. All the beggars, children are begging. You don't care. Children are on the street. Every 4 years, you take them from the street to vote for you as underage voters. Why not formulate strategies that will bring our children out of the street? You're talking about hate speech and speech and speech. Is that what Nigeria needs? Is that our problem now? The same 2019 election in Taraba State, you gave Buhari 324,906 votes. But you were able to register just 95 students in the 2018 Common Entrance Examination. Instead of respecting our constitution that you swore to defend, you are offending the people that you ought to protect. We shall resist this. We say no. This is time for you for sober reflection, to build a way, create a pathway for the development of Nigeria, because you are receiving the highest in the world. You are taking money from the blind, from the poor, from the aged, from widows, from the handicapped, from the unemployed, to buy clothes for you. They buy clothes for you, and you call it wardrobe allowance. You are the proverbial hunter that carries elephant on his head, but is using his leg to dig cricket. With all the millions that you are receiving, you cannot buy clothes for yourself. You take money from the blind, from the poor, from the aged, from the unemployed, from the handicapped. You use them to buy newspaper allowances and furnitures for your homes. With all the millions that you receive, you cannot buy newspaper. How much more can we talk about greed? You cannot buy newspapers for yourself. You are looting our country dry, where countries like Italy are reducing the number of their legislators to save costs. We stayed in Liberia for 15 years as peacekeepers. Today, the Liberian parliament have reduced their budget by 30%, and you are there making laws to separate you from us. A day is coming and the time is soon that everything that you are doing now, you shall give account to us, either you or your children.